What's up, my people? It's Mukri, the one and only. Any others are counterfeit, so check your pockets. And I'm here with my good cuz.
Becca Boo, Becca Baby, that Queen Beck. You already know who it is. And welcome back to the FANG podcast. Don't forget, you can listen to all of our episodes and you can also see all of our beautiful faces at the FANG podcast. TheFangPodcast. Whoa, CAST. I was close. Anyway, we're on all social platforms YouTube to see our faces. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, to listen to our voices and listen to all the juicy real life conversations we try to have with y'all.
With each other as well.
With each other too. Yeah.
Um, but thank you for tuning in. As you know, last week the solar eclipse happened. Right? And it's April. We are 4 days away from my birthday, the biggest Aries, April 19th. Okay? And I'm just so happy because this year I decided to do something different. And on April 19th, 2024, I'm going to be dropping a song. Yes, a song as an artist for as a birthday gift for me and as a birthday gift to you all. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Make sure you follow me on YouTube at It's Mukri. I'm finally gonna, branch out and do my own thing when it comes to YouTube because why not? I think the world deserves to know me in this light, in this new adventure life is about to bestow onto me because I'm getting older. I'm really we're getting older.
Yep.
First of all, my mom's birthday, I almost cried because if she's getting older, that means I'm getting older. And I just can't fathom what life would be. I don't know what tomorrow is. And instead of being in fear, I feel like I'm in excitement because I'm living it. I don't know what's gonna happen. So instead of being scared of tomorrow, I'm kind of excited to see what tomorrow brings.
Embracing tomorrow.
Embracing tomorrow.
Embracing all of the tomorrows.
Yes. Embracing tomorrow, embracing what life has to offer. Because one thing I have to say, the reason I decided to do a song for my birthday was because it's something I never thought of doing. And I remember as a child, there's this curiosity that you have to try things you've never done before, and even though you may not be good at it, it might spark a passion.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do it because it is one of the things life have to offer, and I'm not looking to do it as a form of income, and I think that's what we're missing as we get older is to still have fun. Like everything doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm doing this to make money. I started this to make money. I don't want to do this if it's not gonna make me money. Why don't you just? Why don't we just do things just to try it out? You
I
know?
feel like society has ingrained in us that we're supposed to go through one path and one path only. Like you're supposed to go to school, become a lawyer, and you just do lawyer things. Like why would you want to think about doing music? You're a lawyer. Isn't being a lawyer good enough for you? But it's like everyone has different faces to themselves, different parts of themselves that need to be expressed. I can be studious and very literal as being a lawyer, but I also like being creative. So maybe I want to dibble dabble in music. Not saying music is going to be like my
Form
main
of income.
profession or my form of income, but it's an avenue that I want to go through, an avenue I want to express because it's something I'm interested in. It's something I think I might be interested in. So it's like we have different faces, we have different sides to ourselves, and it's good that you're doing this journey with music. Like you said, you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it because it's just something you genuinely enjoy. And I think that's an important lesson for other people to listen to, a lesson that people should take in and honestly do for themselves. Because we're both in the working field. We both have 9 to 5 jobs, which does take up a lot of time, but I feel as though my job or what I do for money shouldn't
It's
be
not
my
your
only
identity.
focus. Yeah, it's not my
First of all, it's
identity.
not your identity. It's not your only
It's
identity.
just what I do for money. Like, not to make it sound like that, but it literally is what I do for money to pay my bills and to sustain my life. Yeah, but I sustain life. But like, now that I've sustained life, what am I doing with this life? Like, am I just gonna keep working for money to sustain life? Like, am I really sustaining my life? Like, I wanna explore other avenues. If I wanna go, I don't know, learn how to fly a plane, I'm gonna get that pilot's license because I can. I'm adult and I'm grown enough to know what I want and go for the things that I want, compared to when I was younger, where if I wanted something, I kind of had to get permission first, and it wasn't always a yes or no, I'm gonna get it. It's more so if mommy is able to get it, then mommy's gonna get it.
So I have an analogy I want to make, right?
Hmm.
I had to make sure I was using the right vocabulary. But yes, there's an analogy I want to make when it comes to us as people, as human.
Hmm.
Um, I like to look at myself as a tree, right? As a tree. We start as a seed, right? Or we're a seed, and the seed is now growing, and now you start to have this foundation. This foundation starts really small,
Hmm.
right? But you have this foundation. The foundation being the trunk of your tree, right? And you kind of have there's layers to it, and it's growing. It's getting taller and taller, but it also starts to branch out. You so we're not just one long stick.
Mm.
That's not one long trunk. We are branch. You are allowed to branch out into different parts of the world.
And
Yeah.
you're allowed to try something, see if you like it, and if you don't like it, it's fine. What really matters is the fact that you tried. You went for it. You saw something, you wanted it, and you went for it. And although you didn't get it, just the fact that I know within myself I went for it, that's all that matters to me. Can't no one say shit to me. I did that. I did that.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're found after having your foundation, you are allowed to branch out into different things
Yes,
that the
that's a key
world.
thing. You need to have your foundation first. The only reason we're able to do X, Y, and Z is because A, B, C through X was taken care of.
Exactly, which is usually, your living, how you live, and your form of income. But after that, you're allowed
A
to branch
steady
out.
form of income.
Yeah, and then after that, you're allowed to branch out and try all these
Mhm.
things, because let's be for real, some of the things in life that you want to try does require money.
Mhm.
It's things are not free in this life, but nothing is free. Even the water is not free.
Everything is an exchange. Like, let's boil it down
Exactly.
to something. It's so simple. We have to give in order to take in every single thing that we do. It don't matter what. You
Right.
got to give money if you want to get some sneakers. You got to give time if you want to pass your exam. You have to give your time and study in order to pass the exam. Give and take, baby.
Yep. So right now, I'm at this age where it's like what you do is not your identity. Well, it is not your only identity. And I feel like through life, that's what people are always trying to figure out what their identity is.
Mhm.
And they're trying to succumb it to this one thing. And you're not just that. And you're allowed to be more than just that. Because you are a lawyer from 9 to 5 doesn't mean from 5 to 6 you can't be
An artist,
an artist. 6 to 7
a
you can't be
dancer.
a dancer. Like, you're allowed to try so many different things, and that's just the beauty of life. That the beauty of life and what it has to offer.
I feel like. Sorry, were you done? I didn't want to cut you
No,
off. I'm sorry.
girl, you've been cutting me off this entire time. Like, like, go ahead. What you wanted to say?
I feel like as I'm getting older, that I'm only now able to, like, I have the power to shape my identity.
Mm.
Like, even though when I was younger, yeah, I knew who I was, this and the third. I had a goal in mind. I was supposed to be a nurse today. If things went to plan, I would be in school for midwifery right now, getting ready to deliver your baby in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah, that probably would have been me. But that's not me right now. I didn't go to school for nursing. The job that I work has absolutely nothing to do in the healthcare field. And at one point and everyone goes through this. I had my own struggles where I was like, okay, what am I going to do with my life? Like, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next year. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But at the end of the day, things did work out. You know, I am still blessed that I have a job today. I'm blessed that, like you said, I have that foundation that allows me to do the things that I'm interested in. For example, this podcast. On all the things that me and Mukri do, or the things that I do in my personal self, it's because I have that foundation. So where I'm trying to go with this is, if there's anyone who's at a point in their lives where they feel like everything just doesn't seem to be going the right way, nothing is going as planned, you can't see where your life is going at the moment, it's okay. We all go through that, especially when we're in that transition phase from being a kid to being a young adult and trying to basically get a hold of life and our own independence. It happens to everybody. And it's okay. Like, you'll find your path. Everyone is going to find their path. The path you're on now might not be the path you're going to be on in 10 years, but it's okay, cuz like we said, we have different sides to ourselves. We live our life in different chapters. We go through so many different things that can change the plan that we had for our life. But you know what God does? He laughs at anybody with a plan.
Right?
So just stay true to yourself. That's really the best thing I could say. I try to stay true to myself. I learn more about myself every single day. Like I said, my words for this year is being aware and being intentional. I'm just aware of everything that I do throughout the day. Any thoughts, I allow myself to have those thoughts. Like I said previously, our thoughts are real. I'm a real person. My feelings are real. And it's okay for me to think the things that I think. Like, nothing crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. Basically, to wrap that up, I feel like to wrap it up, you just have to be okay with that the identities that you had for yourself. You have to have some grace with yourself because you didn't get there. And that's okay. You can extend that grace to yourself, because even though you were told you're going to be great at this, you're going to be this, I've learned that I had to be okay with not being all those things people
Mhm.
expected me to be.
Mhm.
And that's just life. Life life has been life has been this untold story, and we don't know the ending. We don't even know the next page. And I've at this age, and I'm becoming okay with that. Like, I thought at this age I was going to be married with at least one kid in the picture, and I had to tell myself, yo, it's okay, cuz being getting married not getting married is not a sin anyway. So heaven still looks like a good option at the end of
I'm
all of
crying.
this.
I thought by 25 I'd be married with kids too. But reflecting on where I am now at 25, I cannot see myself with a kid. There's no way, because first of all, ain't nobody to make a kid with. Ain't nobody I trust enough to make a kid with. So it's like,
Well,
imagine having a kid right now, like in my predicament, the way I'm living my life right now, and then boom bam, it's a belly over here.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Imagine. I
I'm
don't
not. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be like, yo, we work the same job. How you gonna afford a kid? Because I could barely afford myself. Maybe my expenses are too high, but like, it's just, it's okay. I'm fine as a woman, right? I'm okay that I haven't reached certain
yeah.
expectations that I was supposed to reach at this age. Don't get me wrong, I still think I'm gonna get engaged this year, so it might still happen.
And also, don't let other people's expectation basically plan out your life. Those are their expectations for you. And majority of the time it's because they didn't get to live their life the way that they probably envisioned, so they're trying to push it down on you. Don't let other people's expectations draw out your life. You are the bus driver, the pilot, the engineer of your life. You dictate where you're going to go and how your future can be.
But the people in your life that have the most influence on, and the ones that basically put these expectations to you, are our parents.
Mhm.
They are our parents, especially being Nigerian. Like, come
Yeah.
on, the once you're out the womb, you have like 4 careers in front of you. Nurse or doctor, that's medical, right? Engineer, lawyer, maybe even teacher, but they never really want a teacher. They really don't. They really want those top 3,
Now
right?
listen, I and I don't have a profession in any of those fields. My mom, she really wanted me to be a nurse, but it didn't happen. But guess what? My mom, she still loves me. She is still proud of the job that I have and the things that I'm doing. So even though when I was younger, I never felt like my mom pressured me to be a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse because my mom was a nurse. So I just thought that was really the only plan, the only path for me. And she as well started persuading me, be a nurse is good for you, this, that, and the third.
Good money.
But I'm not a nurse. But my mom still is very much active in my life. She very much shows and expresses her love for me every single day. Like, I don't feel less of as her child. And the only reason why I'm mentioning this is because I watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and I've seen like scenarios where the Nigerian mother, she wasn't supportive of the job field that her son chose. In this scenario, her son is a firefighter. She doesn't want her son to be a firefighter. She wants him to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. But it wasn't until later on in life they had a conversation and she really sat there and listened to her son and was like, okay, I can understand why you want to be a firefighter, why this is a part of your life. I still love you. I can now accept what it is that you're doing, and you're still my son. Like, I love you. And I say that because, there's a lot of people who probably, especially in the Nigerian community, I would assume that they aren't doing the job that their parents wants them to do. And even at the grown age of 25, 26, 27, they still feel scared and they can't be open and truthful and honest about what it is that they want to do with their parents. And all of this circles back, even if you go watch the very first episode of our podcast. Our podcast, we went to college, yeah, we did what our parents asked. Although we may not be in the fields our parents wanted, we still were able to get the college degree. And now we have the opportunity to do what it is that we want on our own time, on our own dime. And let that be a
That was a
testimony.
bar.
Let that be a testimony for anyone who's listening to this episode. If you're watching us, if you're listening to us, let that be a testimony because we still did what our parents wanted. Our parents still love us, even though we didn't do 100% of what they wanted. But yeah, just stick with that. Let this be a testimony. Let that be a testimony. And you sit with that, sit with what I just said, go back to the first episode, listen to that, sit with that, and, dissect your own thoughts.
Was that speech or monologue making you emotional?
I have a little bit of congestion, so
Okay.
like I'm trying to swallow and talk, but like the mucus is there. So
Okay, because it looked like you were getting very emotional. And
I mean, maybe, yeah, but it's really just the congestion. But it is an emotional topic because even when I speak on that, I can relate to it because it's part of my own life and my own experience, which is also, like I said, why we started this podcast. Is based on our own life experience, um, and sharing that with people. And I would hope that people who listen to us, people who don't know us, people who just find us out of the blue and start listening, I would hope that it opens your mind to like some new thoughts. Like I said, be aware, be intentional, and just dissect your thoughts and figure out what it is you want to do in life, because at the end of the day you are the pilot, the engineer, the driver of your own life. Okay, you steer yourself into the right course. Okay, babes.
so just from hearing what you said, it just seems like what in your process you extended grace unto your parent or your mom, because when it comes to the expectation that our parents have for us and what they want us to pursue in life, it's because it's not out of ill intention. It's because they want us to be great. It's
Mm-hmm.
because they know what these fields have to offer financially, and it it's a stable career. It's a career that is always going to be needed. Is never going to die out. So they do want to see their kids in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that, and from hearing what you said, it's important at some point in your lifetime to extend your parents' grace, because what they're trying to mold you into is because of what they've experienced in life, and you're their child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also their first time being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in their head, especially being Nigerian, I could imagine for my mother that everything that she had to do was because an adult in her life told her she had to do it, and she didn't really have that option. But being raised in America, America gives you that option, or gives your child that option, because children have rights, um, to do things that they want. And like you said, we went ahead and did the things that our parents wanted us to do, but we have to give them some grace. And in giving them grace, they're okay with what you want to pursue, and you're happy in what you're pursuing as well. Because you said that your parents were very supportive. Your mother was very supportive of you, like not being in the field that you're in, and I had to fight to do what I wanted to do. Like I threw a tantrum. I was like, what happened? A short story. Basically, I was like around 16, and I do have this medical condition. And at some point, I did have to have surgery for it. And in that time that I had that surgery, you kind of, you're knocked out. You're knocked out, and you don't know when you're going to wake up. First of all, you don't really realize when you knock out,
No,
right?
yeah, I know.
But you realize when you wake up. And the amount of pain and suffering that I was in after waking up, I was like, yo, I could have died and not even know it. Right? I could have died and not even know it. So there came a time where it was like just being able to choose what I wanted to wear to prom and to the prom after party. They were telling me what I wanted to wear, I couldn't wear. I was like, first of all, it's more appropriate than what my peers are trying to wear. And you tell me I can't wear it? This simple blue dress, this simple royal blue dress, I can't wear it. And I was like, nah, no way. I started like literally screaming and hollering and crying because you're taking away a decision. You're taking away my right to choose something for myself. And it's not like, oh, I'm choosing whether I want to do drugs or not. Like, no, we're talking about a dress. And that's when I realized you really have to fight for what you want. But if you're going to fight for what you want, you have to really you have to show to your parents, like, hey, I said I wanted this, and I'm going to prove to you this is how bad I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to achieve it. And that's when it's like, oh, yeah, I trust my child, because my child said they're going to do something, and they did it.
They did it. Mm-hmm.
So we all know, like, what my parents wanted me to be was a nurse or doctor. Let me tell you, from middle school, 6th to 8th grade, I went to Erasmus. I went to STAR. And STAR is a science-based school, science technology school. And after middle school, I was like, oh, I want to go to one of these high schools for like dance or acting, theater, entertainment. I was told no. I wasn't even allowed to apply. Wasn't allowed to apply. They were like, no, you're gonna be this. You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be in the medical field, and you're going to stay in the same school for another 4 years.
I've never thought you were gonna be in the medical field.
Girl, I don't know why they thought that too.
I never thought. I always thought you'd be a teacher or do something with English and like maybe, if we're saying doctor, maybe like a speech pathologist, maybe if it was gonna go the medical route. But I never ever thought you was ever gonna go in the medical field.
Bro, they thought I did. First of all, I do love science. I do. I very much love science. I'm a big fan of my marine biology altogether. But sir, I just can't. I just can't. It's always something new in science, man. Like, and after the words be hard to pronounce.
Bro, I couldn't get past chemistry. I had to drop the class.
Oh no, I loved chemistry.
I couldn't.
I you know what? I loved forensic chemistry, but I also failed chemistry. So like, but like I love science. Don't get me wrong. Like the science allows you to be curious, and I feel like it nurtured my curiosity. But like, man, to do it as a career, nah, I'm sorry, you can't get me to do that. But everything you said about like English, like, come on now, I really don't see how they didn't see that, bro.
Yeah,
like how, like, but that's the crazy thing is they just had what they wanted for me, not realizing, hey, this is not even that, not realize this is what Mukri is good at.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, damn, Mukri is good at this. Like, we should pour into this because Mukri is really good at it. And that would have turned out different. Now, I also was the firstborn, right? So first time parent for real, for real. This is
Yeah,
their
for real,
first.
for real.
This is their first time parenting, and we've
Mhm.
all said it. We see how parents were with the firstborn, and we see how they are with the lastborn. They not the same parents, yo. They are not the same parents, but it makes sense because the firstborn is their first time. By the third one, they're like, all that shit that I was doing before, I don't gotta do it again. So like with my sister, with the youngest one, we everybody saw that Eniela could dance, right? Eniela taking dance classes. The dance classes turned into gymnastic classes. The gymnastic classes turned into sports. Bruh, I did not get to do a sport until my junior, sophomore year. I mean, junior, senior year. Eniela's been in sports since fourth grade.
Yeah, she an active one.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I as a firstborn, I can give my mother some grace. I can give my father some grace when it comes to how I was raised because I was the first time.
Mhm.
And they've learned from me, with their experience with me, what they should and should not do with the other one. Now, granted, if my little sister was to come up here and give her own speech, she might say something different about in regards to the parenting. But I'd be like, girl, what you could do, I could not do before.
Mhm.
There's things that you're doing now that they should just be slapping you. But they don't because they realize, like, yo, we used to really put hands on Mukri, and Mukri ran away to college and didn't look back. Like, they learned, you know? So I just like, I used to be really upset and mad at my mother for allowing certain things to happen in my life. But I've come to forgiving her, to forgiving a lot of the adults that are my guardians. I've come to forgiving them because, yo, if it was my first time too, I probably wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
Mhm.
I wouldn't. I might just fuck shit up. Like everything that, and then I just think about it like, yo, like your mother did some things to you, and you're like, yo, I'm not gonna do that with my child. And I'm thinking now at my age, did it really hurt you what they did? Like, did it really fuck you up as a person, or did it build you as a person? That's a good question to ask. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I used to think I was like, yo, like, what's wrong with you? But nah, nothing's really wrong with me. It's just this is what happened, and this is the person I came out to be. So, was their parenting really bad? Did they really do things to me to hate them? Maybe at the moment, right? At the moment, but
Mhm.
like now it's
And
like,
plus, you were a kid, so we exaggerate things just a little bit. A lot of emotions going through us as a kid. Not to say what you felt wasn't valid or anything, but just even like when you speak about working with children throughout the day and like they just have a whole bunch of different emotions. You never really know
yeah,
what you're gonna get. Something like that. So they're dealing with that, and then it's like, why would you do that? And mommy or daddy's doing something like, why would you do that? And it's like it's just exaggerate a little bit. But now you're able to reflect and realize, hey, it wasn't that deep.
it really wasn't.
It wasn't that deep.
Because even now too, like, okay, as a child, we're like, oh, we're going through all these things emotionally, and because of technology and our access to certain information, bruh, what mothers go through some shit, bro, on their own. Even men don't understand it. Like women when they get pregnant, when they have a kid post-mortem,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. And you just like,
It's a
yo,
lot.
we're like, oh, she's acting out. Like, no, your mother's going through some shit too.
And I feel like because now we're at that age where we're going to eventually get into, being pregnant and married and all of that stuff, it puts things in perspective. So it's like, okay, I'm trying to think of my mom when she was pregnant or when she was my age. Like, sis was going through a lot. Like, I feel for you, mommy, and I love you. And just know we here. Like, it's cool. But
right?
when you had mentioned giving grace with parents, my mom, she's married now. So I see my mom in a different light, in a different way.
Bro.
Because growing up, it's always been me and my mom, no one else. So it's still the same, but it's different. mainly because my mom, she isn't just caring for me, she's caring for my stepdad and my stepbrothers as well. So I had caught myself in a little the other day, but then I put myself back on track, like, hey, it's not really like that. I think I don't remember exactly what happened, but like they were showing compassion towards my mom. And I was like, "Oh, my mom has other people that love her." And I was like, "Wait, but I love her." And I'm like, "Wait, no, more than one person can love
love
my
her.
mom. It's okay." And then I had to catch myself, and I'm like, "Wait, because it's not just me and my mom anymore. Like, there's more people in our family. There's more people that I care for as well. There's more people that she cares for as well. So it's kind of like I'm seeing my mom more softer in a way. I'm seeing her more softer. It's kind of like she's in her soft girl era now.
Yo.
And it's just like an eye-opening thing, because like I said, I've never seen my mom this way.
Bro.
It's always been my mom as, head honcho,
Head of the
she's the
household.
boss.
Yep,
Whatever she says
bro.
goes.
You
That's
want to
it.
run with the big boys? Like,
Literally.
I'm so happy you said that, because I'm not going to lie, I started looking at your mom in a different light too. I did. Because I'm like, yo, I'm not going to lie. I was like, damn, going to Dami house feel different. Because
It's different, right?
Mad different.
It's
Because,
different.
first of all, bro, if at least when it came to like being in your house or what your house was for us, it was at the most kids you saw in that house was me, you, and Shola.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo,
bro, it's a whole village in there,
bro. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this feels weird. It feels different. First of all, I'm like, damn, that my mom acting a little bit different too. She this is not the same. That me mom. Sometimes you do see the old one come out a little bit. She do come out a little bit.
Yeah,
Cause
like we said,
she
got
on them
multiple sides.
She blacked on them one day. I was like, yeah, that's the lady I know.
We all got multiple sides. She gonna bring it out if she needs to, but it's like she can let that guard down a bit, because it's not just her.
Right.
It's not just her. She can let the guard down. She can be softer. She can be calm. She can relax and just lay, she can chill out.
Bro, first of all, she's dealing with all boys now.
That's another thing.
Our household, our whole lives,
girl,
there's only been at least 1 to probably 3 boys in a room with about 20 girls.
Now minimum is 3 boys, no matter where we go.
Yo.
No matter where we go.
And that alone is different, because you do raise boys differently than you raise women.
Yes.
I mean, girls. You do. Oh my God, bro. I thought I was the only one.
I'd be like, I swear, I feel like the boys get babied.
You think they're getting babied?
I feel like they get babied.
I
feel like they get babied.
No, but you have to remember. You have to remember that your mom, this is not her first time being a parent anymore. So all the shit that she did with you, she ain't gonna do with them, because she's like, nah, I don't gotta do that. There's do's and don'ts to this right now. So they're not getting baby. They're just getting a different parent. And this different parent does not feel like they need to be as harsh as they were the first time. Because I'm not going to lie, with the first kid, you kind of have to be on it, because you're like, you're going to be great. You're meant to be the president. Don't fuck up.
Not the president.
Like, don't fuck up. But like, even just tying in back to our childhood, Disney just never ceased to amaze me. Why Disney came out with a show called Iwaju?
That show, just based off the graphics alone and how real it is compared to how it is in Nigeria, chef's kiss. You guys really hit the nail with that. Bro, when the show started playing and you see like the credits, like the executive producer, Olufumilayo, Olukunle, I was like, hey, all these names, what? Like, in the beginning scene, she was making Puff Puff. I would have never.
Bro, I love that.
Animated Puff Puff? Where they do that at?
No, and it's something that like Disney don't realize, and the creators of the show, or they probably even do realize, that they did not touch literally just any hearts. You touched the hearts of Nigerian
generations,
of Nigerian-born Americans. Because when I think about cartoon and animations, I think about what we were absorbing as children.
Mm-hmm.
We had SpongeBob, we had Cat and Dog, we had all these different shows, and which centered around American culture. And then now we have this one show that we can have access to in America,
mm-hmm.
that is based on the culture that we have in our household.
Do you know how beautiful it was watching that show? I wish I could have watched something like that when I was younger. Maybe I would like cartoons.
Maybe you would like being Nigerian.
That's another thing, because
maybe they wouldn't have been calling us African booty scratchers.
literally, bro,
I'm just saying.
like literally. And it's funny because on the show there was a scene where they're leaving Lekki going onto the mainland, and there's traffic. And the guy's like, how will we get to the airport now? All this traffic, Lagos, Wahala, something like that. And then the car, it turns into like a flying car, and it goes up in the air, and he's able to drive. But as he's driving in the air, you still have those people coming
The
to you, hey, come by,
hawkers.
Agigi bread, candy, come, whatever you want, pop up, I have it for you. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Like,
Literally, it was beautiful to see we had a futuristic Nigeria, but it didn't lose the Nigerian culture qualities. It still had that in a futuristic manner, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, the show is based off of futuristic Nigeria.
Yeah, so it's not really what Nigeria is,
No.
but it technically it's what Nigeria always had the potential.
I feel like that could, bro. When they say Africa is like the kingdom, like the place of royalty where we're originally from, imagine Nigeria looking like how it looks in that show. Like, I can actually see it if money wasn't as corrupt as it is now.
Right.
Who knows? Because we're so smart. All the technology that Nigeria actually studies and can keep in here, you'd be surprised.
Man, nah, that show, they really did a big one with that one.
Show.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna put this out there. You know, since I have my degree in theater, and I do have, you know, some skills in my arsenal. I think that's the right term. I hope to one day voice act for real, because just anybody who's looking for Nigerian American that can still, you know, read and understand Yoruba small, come and find me, because I really want to try voice acting. Like, Professor Yoruba to do for you, like for you. Like, I want to if you need someone to do Yoruba English, call me. Like, I'm in tune with my culture, because when I saw it, I was like, yo. When I say voice acting, this is the kind of stuff I want to do it for. The Nigerian American kind of accent where it's me.
Listen, representation really does matter.
It does.
It matters. And like I said before, imagine watching this show when I was younger. I probably would have been way more prouder to be Nigerian, to be African when I was younger. Because African booty scratcher, like, nobody really wanted, at least for me, I wasn't really like, I'm African, I'm this, I'm that. I was just keeping it quiet to the side. It wasn't until maybe like high school when I started being more open with being Nigerian. But when I had watched the show, just a quick little side note, I was watching it with my stepdad, stepbrothers, and my mom. And there was a scene where the guy was speaking English, but then, you know, he started speaking Pidgin and like, and Yoruba as well. And I remember my stepdad, he was like, this is real. Wow, this is right. This is a good show. I was like, yes. I wanted to watch it, but I wanted everyone to, because I started watching on my own, like the first 10 minutes. I was like, no, I need to watch this with everybody, because I know everyone is going to love this. They're going to have their input. I went to the living room. I put it on. We was all watching it. Everybody was in tune.
I love that.
In tune.
And that's just what it's supposed to be. So now, I just want to segue into like, we're saying we're proud to be Nigerian, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know how to feel about Wizkid going online saying he's not Afro anything, bitch. I want to know the backstory to that, because you are an Afrobeats artist. Like, you are, at least you were an Afrobeats artist, and because of the kind of music you made, he got this access to, you know, this access into American entertainment, and now you're deeply rooted in American entertainment, and now you come online and saying you're not Afro anything. And what really baffled me was that, and on his story, he really wrote like, oh, if you're expecting like basically, if his next album to be anything like Pakuromo, then we shouldn't listen to it. Like, delete him, unfollow him, And it's just like, yo, you're talking, like those are your OG fans, right? Why are you talking like that? And it really just baffled me because there's this growth in Nigerian culture, influence being in other parts of the world. And for Wizkid to say that is like, why why are you trying to disconnect? Like, now I want to kind of be Angel's advocate. Was he saying it to just tell people like, hey, I'm not just this one genre of music, I'm versatile? Or was he saying it to be
I feel like,
disrespectful?
I wouldn't say disrespectful, but I feel like he okay, everyone is so big on Afrobeats right now. And
Yeah.
that is with the music he made. Like, people know you for Afrobeats. That's how you got your start in the music industry. That's how you
Your
became an
stardom.
international sensation. Like, that's how people know you, because you're from Nigeria
Well,
and you create
let's not talk about him like he's actually here. He or him, not you.
yeah, he is an international sensation, and that's how people know him, because he started off making Afrobeats. Now, I could understand you wanting to like not
Him.
I could understand he not wanting to associate and be 100% he is an Afrobeats artist. I get that. Not a lot of people like to be categorized. It's like the example I gave before. Just because I'm a lawyer doesn't mean I can't be an artist, I can't be a dancer, I can't do
Mm.
that. It makes sense. My thing is, it's kind of like people know you for Afrobeat, so you can't tell people I'm not Afro anything. Like, that's not what I do. That's not me, because it's like, I mean, yes, that's how people know you. Like, no matter
Know
what,
him.
that's how people know him. No matter what, first impressions, like, it sticks. Like, you are an Afrobeats artist. There are other people who are rappers. There are other people who are singers, but they cross, like Beyonce. She doing country music now. We're gonna call her. We're gonna say she's no longer a pop artist. She's just a country artist. Like, no, she's an artist in general. Like, you dibble and dabble in different things. Now, I feel like he probably just came out and expressed it the wrong
I was
way,
gonna say
because
his delivery could have been better.
it's giving you don't fuck it's giving he doesn't fuck with Afrobeats anymore. He wants to do pop and trap and drill and all this other stuff, and he wants to be known for that and not necessarily what he's already known for. And it's kind of like, you can't, with your fan base, you can't expect them to just flip a switch and not associate you with that. And then for him to come at the people saying, I'm not an Afro nothing, bitch.
That is crazy.
Like, whoa, bro. And it's kind of like the example you had said before, when people leave Nigeria and they go to London or they go to the UK,
They don't want to
they don't
associate.
necessarily want to be associated with Nigeria. They don't necessarily
That's why
want
I know.
to put money back into the economy or just do
Right.
anything in Nigeria. They want to stay overseas and stay there.
Right, and it trickles down into generations, because then you have people that they know that they're Nigerian, right? But they don't know how to pronounce their name.
Mm.
Like, bro, it's just like, it's okay to feel how you feel, but it doesn't mean you have to disassociate
And forget where you came from.
because it is still part of your identity, because it was part of your upbringing. It's part of your foundation. So I don't know how I really feel now about Wizkid. I'm not even really a Wizkid fan. It's Burna Boy.
DeVito.
It's Burna Boy to the death of me. Okay. I'm Team Burna Boy, but like, I just wish that he didn't say that, because he has an influence on our community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that people like him in their position are mindful of the things that they say, because even though you look at yourself like, I'm an individual, I can make my own choices, you have where you're at is going to trickle down, and other people might start to take on your viewpoints because of how your delivery. Like, say what you have to say, but you could do it respectfully.
Yeah,
you could do it without people feeling like people that don't want to associate with Afrobeats anymore, they don't have to deliver it the same way he did. And that's just all my thought. Like, Wizkid, you could be whatever you want, baby. You can do whatever you like, but let's at least, if you're gonna disassociate, if he is gonna disassociate himself with his something that is part of his identity, at least do it with some grace. Not like that. Not I'm
Yeah,
not
that kind
Afro.
of hurt me in the chest. I'm not an Afro nothing bitch.
Afro anything, bitch. Like that was crazy. But you know what? This is the Fang podcast. Okay, first American Nigerian generation where we embrace all parts of our identity. Okay? So if you are on that same type of timing as we are, where we're acknowledging and loving all parts of ourselves, make sure to subscribe and follow us on all platforms. And don't be afraid to comment. Share your opinion. We will respond eventually. So share your thoughts. I'm Mukri, the one and only. My birthday's coming up. Make sure you're following me on YouTube because that's where I'm going to drop my song for my birthday as my gift to you and to us. Well, to you and me. And you can go ahead and follow my girl.
That Queen Beck on all social platforms. It's your girl Becca Baby, Becca Boo. We do want to thank you for tuning into this episode of the Fang Podcast with us. Don't forget, you can catch all of our episodes on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces, or if you just want to hear our voices, we are wherever you can listen to podcasts. Thanks for watching.